Okay, I think we are live.
Woohoo!
Welcome, everybody. I am here today with Stu. Thank you for being here, Stu.
Well, as I was saying before we got started, I'm just grateful to be here. Thanks for having me.
I know because you're kind of busy this week. You've got something big going on, right?
We do. Yeah, once a year we host a big free workshop, and it starts this Thursday. And so, yes, I've been very busy prepping and planning and gearing up to make it a spectacular event and experience for everybody.
Now, I don't know how many years have you been doing this workshop?
This workshop since 2016. So
Oh,
that'll
okay.
be
The
this will
first
be
time
our
I took
sixth
it
year.
was 2020. So,
Okay, yeah. So it's been a good minute for sure, but it's given us the opportunity to be able to help literally tens of thousands of people. Which for me, it lights me up in so many different ways. But I'm more passionate about what we're going to be talking about today than ever before, and we'll probably unpack that a little bit. But I can't wait for
yeah.
Thursday.
Absolutely. So I have a lot of people coming on to say hi. So I have Lisa, I have Mandy, here's Loretta, and I actually can see their names on StreamYard. Sometimes I can't see their names. I have Arlene showing up here. So some
Awesome.
are actually my members. So Stu, we have a special hashtag for my members. Would you like to know what it is?
Tell me about it.
So I haven't seen anybody comment it yet. But my membership that I started 2 years ago I actually started it during the free workshop.
Wow, that's amazing. I
I
love hearing
did.
that.
So I saw Heidi Easley's post inside of your community, and I just decided a few days after that to just go for it.
That is
And I started
amazing.
during the free workshop. So I see somebody commented. So Mandy commented, she's a Start Girl member.
Oh, I love it.
So I have an art membership, and we do art journaling. Do you know about art journaling?
I do. You know why I know about it? It's because my daughter
I
loves it.
wondered.
Yes, she is definitely the artsy one in the family, and I always have a passion for art, and I love art. In fact, we did this personality test for within our company, and one of the things that was in my top three, what it was number three was a appreciation for beauty and art, and this is why.
That is so cool.
Yeah, so I love art, and this is why I love watching my daughter really pursue it. So she's totally into like lettering, she's into cartooning, she's into all the things. Like this morning, in fact, I was admiring because she created some new like affirmations that she stuck to her mirror, and they're all
That
these
is
beautiful sayings that she
awesome.
gets in there and makes these beautiful lettering and stuff. So I am familiar with it for sure.
Oh, very good. And I know that there are some members in the course that you do that do lettering and different things like that. So that makes sense that you know a little bit about that. So well, that's awesome. Well, I see several of them hopping on. I see Tamara as a Start Girl member, and
That's awesome.
so a lot of people. It sounds like Sandra here. She said pleased to meet you, so she must not know about you.
Well, Sandra, pleased to meet you too, bud.
Yeah. So I see another Start Girl member, Judith, here, and some people popping on to say hi, Tamara and Loretta, Lisa. We have all kinds of people. So
Look at you.
tell
This is
us
awesome.
a little bit about, yeah. Like I said, I started it during the free workshop, and I just decided to kind of go for it, and I've just been kind of building things out since then. That's what you always tell people is just to get it started, right?
Absolutely. Like, one of the things that I've learned in business and in life is that oftentimes there are so many things that hold us back, fears and anxieties
Yes.
of all the worst case scenarios that could happen. But rarely do we hold place for best case scenarios. Like,
Oh, I
what
love
if,
that.
what if you taking action actually creates more success than you ever thought possible, more momentum than you ever thought possible? And then what would that then make possible in your life? Like, what if we hold space for that? And that's where, I believe my role as a coach and as a guide is to hold that place. And the reason being is because it's not coming from a place of just hope. It's coming from a place of confidence, because we have seen time and time again
Right.
what has happened when people just get out of their own way. They stop overthinking, they stop over planning, and just get into action, just
Just
like
do
what
it.
you did. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like, let's see what happens. And then we start from there and we build on that momentum and we keep growing and we keep that momentum moving forward. But if we never get started, all those ideas, those dreams, they just come to a crashing halt, and that's a crying shame. And so that's where I get excited, because I know what's possible when people do get out of their own way. And we've seen it happen. You're a perfect example of, like, just from the free workshop, like getting in motion and look at all of the great relationships that you've created in your membership. I can see them popping up here with the way in which people, have such an affinity toward you. So I really do believe that too often we're held back by fears and anxieties. And a dear friend of mine once told me, Stu, I've never known you to make a decision from a place of fear. And this was at a moment when I was really contemplating going left or right with a really important decision. And I knew in that moment that my head was telling me one thing, but my heart was telling me another. And I chose to live from a place of confidence, from a place of joy, from a place of love, and from a place of possibility. And it's awesome. Amazing what can happen when you make that decision.
Yeah. And I know when I got started, I didn't know how to get started. I just kind of followed a little bit of what you were saying and what I had seen other business coaches like Heidi kind of model for me. And I just decided to get started. And I was going to go ahead and anybody who's watching, if you have questions, and I have a couple of questions I was going to ask you, Stu, but I know that one of the questions that I get asked a lot is, how do you get started? Like, what is it that you really need, basic level, to start a membership? And they know what I've told them, but I'd like to hear what from you, what is the basic, just smallest thing that you need to get started?
Well, I think at the end of the day, like, there's a couple, we can unpack this in a variety of different ways. Like, first and foremost, a lot of people believe and think that you need to have an audience of tens of thousands or thousands to get started. That is not true. We've seen many, many examples of people with just a couple hundred people in their audience be able to get started with a membership. In fact, I think of Faye over in the UK. She didn't even have 100 people. She had 90 people in her audience. Wow. And she did her founding member launch. And that created massive momentum for her, because she did a founding member launch that included lifetime access to the membership. And she limited the number of people, but it meant more revenue up front, which then created for her like a bunch of revenue that she could then use to be able to continue to grow her audience and her business. So you don't need a massive audience to start. This is the first thing. Second thing that I would say is I would encourage everybody to get clear on some of the fundamentals. Like, who specifically do you serve and how are you specifically helping them? So for example, like, let's just pretend that you had a knee injury. Who would you rather see? Would you rather go to a general doctor or a knee specialist?
Yeah, you want to go to the specialist.
You want to go to the specialist. Yeah. Absolutely. Let's say that your basement gets flooded. Would you rather have a contractor, a general contractor come, or somebody who specializes in, water restoration and cleanup? You'd want the specialist, right? And it's because when you become known for something specific, you immediately become relevant for people who are experiencing a problem or challenge, or they're looking to accomplish or achieve something in that area. So this is why I encourage, in the beginning, be more specific about who you help and specific about what you help them with, because that's like the foundation. And then from there, it's about starting way earlier than you may expect. And the reason that we hesitate is because we want to get everything perfect. We want to get everything right. We don't want to put it out there until, it's our baby. But the reality of it is, especially with memberships, is that it's always changing and always evolving.
Mine's evolved a lot. Yeah.
Tell me about it. Like, how is it different now than it was when you began?
So when I first started, I do a subscription box. So when I first started, the very first one, it wasn't even a box. It was an envelope. And I sent a journal from the Dollar Tree. And that was what I put inside the envelope, because it was about me showing up I started with 9 people. It was about me showing up for those 9 people and teaching them inside of a private group where I could show up for them on a regular basis, rather than just on my live video, once a week or something, and not have a continuous relationship. I'm all about community, and that's why there's a lot of people popping on, because I've developed these communities. And I just actually opened up my membership today, and I've added 5 new people just today. And I have 114, I think, in my membership now.
That is
this year.
amazing.
So yeah, so it's grown and it's changed, and I offer new things and we do different things, but it's really about the community of people together and me showing up for them, and just being honest in what it is that I show up, and authentic, and saying, hey, I want to try this. Hey, let's do this time.
And what's so beautiful about what you just shared is that it started with those 9 founding members.
Yeah.
Right? Like 9 and it's blossomed into more than 100+ members, which is amazing, by the way. Like, that is incredible. And I just want to take a moment and acknowledge you for that progress. Like, that is incredible. But what we were sharing here was that a membership is going to change, and it's going to evolve, and it's going to evolve and change based on our interactions with our members and where they're getting stuck and what we can do to best serve them and help them. And so no matter what plans that you have for your membership, the best plans, I guarantee you, in the decades of experience that I've got helping tens of thousands of people in all kinds of different markets, the membership is always going to change based on your members' needs. And this is why I encourage people to get started sooner rather than later. Because when you're working with real people, this is where you really discover where they're getting stuck, where they're getting challenged, how you could best help them, how you could best serve them. And this is where you begin to really dial in that experience, so that now your members are getting faster, better results with what it is that you are sharing. And that becomes your greatest marketing asset, when you can show people going from where they were to where they are now and what that transformation looks like. But if we keep putting it off, we don't have people that we can serve. We don't get the benefit of learning how to, tweak that experience. And we definitely don't get the benefit of these incredible stories that we can use in marketing. So this is why I'm a fan of just getting out of our own way and getting going. Keep it super simple in the beginning, just like what you did, and evolve it over time.
Very simple. I'm always talking about, I just do things that are fun and simple. And I just like keep doing those things. And you mentioned about the stories, and I know that I have at least one person on here who's one of my founding members. And
amazing.
So I still have several of them left. And, one of the stories that I had, she totally took me off guard, because I did a live interview like this with several of my members. And I always thought that this person liked my membership because she learned how to be more creative and, do her art journal. And you know what she told me live was that I started my membership during COVID, when everything was shut down and all we could do was online. And she was by herself, and she needed that community of those people that grew from like 9 to 17 and 30. And then we grew, and there was about 50. And, so it grew. And she said that community saved her during COVID. And Stu, do you know who that was?
Who's that?
It was my mom.
Oh my.
She joined my membership because she wanted to support me, and she's crafty and creative like I am, because I get it from her. And she shared that with me on that live video. And I was so touched, because I thought, what if I never would have gotten started? What if I never would have started with just those 9? Some people think, like you said, you have to have it all perfect. And if I would have waited, I wouldn't have affected my mom and my aunt and those people from the very beginning. And then all the people since then that have been able to, for whatever amount of time they come into my membership and stay there and are a part of that community. So
what a beautiful, beautiful story. And what's magical about that is it kind of echoes the sentiment of what people are feeling right now. I recently saw a survey that they interviewed thousands of people, asking them how they felt now versus 2 years ago, before the pandemic started. And the overall sentiment was actually negative. It was that people felt like their lives were worse now than they were 2 years ago.
Wow.
They said that they felt more division amongst family and friends because of, perhaps different views on COVID and things. They felt like their lives got flipped upside down. Like, a lot of travel obviously was canceled. operations and surgeries were postponed and canceled. There was a lot of, COVID fallout, like people actually getting sick, and in some cases, like people not even being able to say goodbye to loved ones who, perhaps, passed away from it. And so there was all this negative sentiment. And then I'm looking over here because I've got it open here, but there was one part of this study that really grabbed my attention. It was this. I said, the survey also suggested that the pandemic has made most reevaluate their priorities, with just over 80% saying it has made them reflect on what is really important in their lives. And just under half have said that since they have made positive lifestyle changes. And here's why this is important. At the end of the day, that pandemic has brought forward our priorities. And what people are wanting now is they're wanting to pursue those passions and those interests.
That's true.
Were once on the back burner. It was like, oh, I'll get to that. That's nice to have. But now it's like, no. Like, I want to pursue that, and I want to pursue it now. And it also, to your point, it created this situation that we're in right now where people they're tired. They're tired of like the division. They're tired of like the arguing. They're tired of
they want a place where they can come together.
Yes. They want that safe community. They want to, to be with others who have shared interests, and do it in a way that they're not going to get critiqued and, hated on and all the things, but just loved on and bring in, they want to be in a place of joy and compassion and empathy, and that we're working towards something and we're progressing and bettering ourselves. And that's what we have an opportunity to bring. I can see it in the comments with your members that's what you have created and provided for them. And that story of your mom it's so heartwarming, because I think of, what an impact that has had on somebody so close to you that you didn't even realize.
No, I didn't, because she had always told me it was just about her learning some new art techniques and things. And then she comes and tells me that during a live video.
Oh, that's so amazing.
Yeah. Stu, I know that you're a busy guy, and we have just maybe a few more minutes. And I saw a couple of questions, but if anybody has a question or two that they want to ask Stu about, and I wanted to just kind of touch on the free workshop, and you can comment free workshop. And I have some people on my team putting the link in the comments here. But what can they expect to learn over this workshop? It's 3 days. And what are they going to learn over those 3 days when they show up?
Well, we host this free workshop one time a year, and this is it. And, if you are here and you've got a fuzzy idea of, well, maybe I might be able to do this, or I have no idea if this would work for my market, I want you to come to the workshop. Because just in the very first workshop, this is exactly what we're going to help you do, is get the clarity of knowing not only if your idea would be a good fit for your market, but, what type of membership would be a good fit for your market. And then we'll talk about, what do you provide inside the membership that provides high value for your members, but doesn't consume you and your time. We'll also talk about like, how do you market? How do you launch the membership? And as you mentioned, like, there will be people who will launch their memberships during the free workshop, just like
it's so much fun to see. Yeah.
And this is what's so magical about it, is because, many times, like, left to our own, we'll overthink and we'll overplan and overanalyze everything. But in this environment, in the free workshop, you get swept up in the positive momentum, and you will experience more progress than ever before in your membership journey. And that's what this is about. So this is about getting clear about your idea. It's about having a plan of how to move forward, and it's about creating massive momentum for yourself. And it's all free. It starts this Thursday, which is why I want to encourage everybody to come and join us, because it is an amazing experience.
It's so much fun.
We've got a little special something for everybody that shows up live. We'll talk about that when we get there, but definitely use the hashtag. I love the hashtag that you got for your community, and we'll give everybody a shout out when we see you on the live broadcast as well.
That's awesome. And it's at 3:00 all 3 days, right? 3:00 Eastern.
Yep. 3 p.m. Eastern.
Very good. I see some people commenting. And so Cheryl here says that she has her workbook. There is a workbook that you can download. It's pretty massive this year, Stu. It's like 83 pages of information that you're giving to people.
Yeah, our team has poured a lot of time, energy, because like I said, a lot of times people think, oh, it's a free workshop. Like maybe I'll get like one or two ideas. No. Like our goal is to help you get your
Yes.
membership off the ground. And so for us, it's all about like can we best equip you. And so the workbook is a workbook to follow along, fill in the blanks, because we know from experience, if you do that, you're going to retain the information a lot longer. You're going to learn it a lot faster, and you're going to be able to put it into action, therefore get results a lot quicker as well.
Yeah. So Cheryl was asking, she's going to be out of town on the road, I guess, without Wi-Fi Thursday through Saturday. Are there going to be replays for a short amount of time of all three?
There will be, but what I will say is that there will be segments that we will teach live that will not be available in replay. So this is why I definitely want to encourage everybody to find a way to join us live. But those segments will be pulled out, but the core of it will be available for replay afterwards.
Very good. Very good. Let's see. I was looking to see if there were any other questions. Yeah, the free information, I kind of remember some of those little goodies that you would put in that weren't a part of the replay afterwards. So I know that last year I had a group, and I have another one this year, of all of us going through the workshop together. And then I'm offering like some after workshop takeaways and things like that. And I think that was one of the things that when I took it, to be able to have somebody else go along with me. And I know that you offer a lot of different things like that, people getting together and really talking through the workshop is really helpful. So.
I love it. I love that you are, going to go through the workshop with your peeps. And I think it creates that community experience, and I think it's super valuable. And I love that you're able to provide your insight and your experience, through your lens with your membership. And so I just encourage everybody to sign up and to register. Like we said, it's absolutely free. And then just come and join us. Like that's the whole magic of it. Like once you get there and experience it and begin to see the progress in your own thinking and in your own ideas, and begin to see what that would make possible for you. Like that's what's so exciting for me, is sharing the stories of others, just like yourself, who it wasn't like that long ago where it was just an idea. And then look at what it's transformed into now. And I think about like not only what that has done for your business and ultimately your life, but I think about like all those people in that membership that have been impacted because you made a decision to move forward. I think about like how their lives have been impacted and the ripple effect.
The ripple effect. I think about that too. Yeah.
And it's incredibly powerful. And like, this is why it's not just about the membership. It's about what that membership makes possible. And that's what gets me fired up. And I know, if the last 2 years has taught us anything, it's that we just never know what's going to happen. And so what I do know, though, is that those business owners who had recurring revenue in their business did not experience anywhere near the stress as those who did not. Yeah. This is why I'm passionate about this. And I've been doing this for a long time, helping people in all kinds of different markets, from photography and calligraphy to fitness and finance and music and art and health and dog training. Heck, even Holly George has a membership teaching people how to create balloon animals. So, I've seen it in all kinds of markets. And I really want to encourage everybody, come and join us. It'll be amazing. And we're going to open your world to a possibility that you couldn't even imagine before.
You definitely opened up mine, for sure. I had one other question that I wanted to ask, and I know that you probably have some other interviews that you've got going on. But Lisa here said, what does Stu drink during the workshop? Because he's always so pumped.
I'm just drinking water right now, Lisa. My parents wouldn't let me have any like soda or pop when I was growing up because I'd be bouncing off the wall. So You've just always had that natural energy. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's funny. And you're in Canada, so do you call it soda?
No, but I know that a lot of Americans do, so that's why I was starting it.
See, I call it pop.
Oh, do you call it pop too?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, like, sometimes when I say pop, so I get that like, what are you talking about, Stu? Like, look, but.
Oh, that's great. Well, make sure and comment free workshop if you want to show up, and Stu will bring the energy and the fun and the information. I mean, the information that you provide in the workshop is just way beyond what anybody even realizes that they're going to get when they show up. So it's awesome. So thank you so much for this, Stu. I know that was really helpful for my followers to feel like they could, kind of ask you questions directly like this and kind of hear from you, interviewing you. So I really appreciate it. And I've had April 21st on my calendar for, I think, since last year, because you announced the date last year. So so we'll know at the end of the workshop this year, when it is for next. You've probably already got the date for next year too, don't you?
Yes, we do. Yeah, we plan way out in advance. But thank you so much. And I'm grateful. I never take for granted the fact that you're sharing this with your audience, and I look forward to having the chance to be able to help and serve others who where that idea is maybe a bit fuzzy. We're going to help you get it clear. We're going to help you have a plan. And we're going to help create massive momentum for you in a very short period of time. So I look forward to that, and we'll see you all on Thursday.
Thank you so much, Stu. Thanks everybody. Bye.
Bye.